this case IL is equal to E upon R plus RL. Then what will be the value of VL? VL is equal to IL into RL. So this in turn comes out to be E RL upon R plus R. So when we plot the value of VL with respect to IL, let's say this we can write as E is equal to VL plus IL into R. VL plus IL into small r. So if we are going to plot VL-IL characteristic in this form, then we need to have the value of VL in terms of IL. So we can write this equation as VL is equal to minus R IL plus E. So this we can compare with the equation of a straight line on which this term is compared with the y, this term is compared with the x, this term is compared with the slope n, this term is compared with the y-intercept c. So now we can draw the characteristics. This is here. This is IL with respect to VL. So we are going to plot VL against the load current IL. So what kind of characteristic do we get from this equation? The line is having a negative slope and the y-intercept is E. So y-intercept is E and the line is having a negative slope equal to R. So this is the kind of characteristic we get for a practical voltage source. This is for an ideal voltage source. So we can say this is a drooping characteristic. Drooping means the value of load voltage reduces with the increase in the value of load current. So this is the drooping characteristic in case of a practical voltage source. Similarly, now we have ideal current source. What is a current source? A current source is represented like this. This symbol represents a current source. This is a load R. A current source is a source of current. Let us say its value is equal to I. So just as a voltage source is a source of voltage, similarly a current source is a source of current, so its value is in terms of current I. So like a ideal voltage source, if this source is ideal, this means the load voltage should remain at a constant value, which is also irrespective of the value of the load current or the load resistance. Similarly here also, if this current source is an ideal one, then when it is connected to a load resistance, then this load resistance should always carry a constant value of current, and that constant value should be equal to the value of the current source. So for an ideal, this resistance, whatever its value is, whatever variations we are having in RL, the value of load current IL does not changes with the change in the value of load response. So what is the value of load voltage? VL. VL is always equal to I into R. I into R. And I is the constant value. So for a current source, these parameters would get reversed, because in case of voltage source we need to have the value of load voltage against the value of load current. But now we are analyzing the current source. So now we are going to analyze, we are going to plot the value of load current with respect to the load voltage. This swaps, this reverses. So now we are going to plot for the value of load current with respect to load voltage. So we can see easily that the value of load current is independent of the value of load voltage. So this also comes out to be a straight line. And this value is constant at the value of I, which is the value of the source, value of the current source I. Then what is the practical current source? What is the practical current source? So how do we derive the practical current source from an ideal current source? How did we derive a practical voltage source with the help of a ideal voltage source? Since the term ideal means the value of load voltage is going to remain constant at the value of the source, means there is no loss in the voltage. Whatever is the voltage of the source, that all voltage is being transferred to the output side, being transferred to the load, across the load. So there is no loss in the voltage. Whereas in a practical voltage source, there is some loss in the voltage. The remaining voltage appears across the load. What is the value of loss? The value of loss is this IL multiplied by R. This is the value of loss. This is the value of lost voltage. Similarly, in case of current source, when the source is an ideal one, then the entire value of this source is being transferred to the load. So what would be a practical current source? In a practical current source, there would be a loss of current before this current reaches to the output of a load. So how do we represent the loss of current? So the loss of voltage can be represented by inserting a resistance in the series. Whereas how the loss of current can be represented? The loss of current can be represented by inserting a resistance in the parallel. So this makes a practical current source. This is a practical current source. The value of source is I. The value of internal resistance of source is R dash. And as usual, connect it with the load resistance R dash. The current flowing in the load resistance is IL. The voltage appearing across the load is VL. So, what is the value of current flowing in? If this current is IL, then this value is I minus IL. If out of I, the current in the load resistance is IL, then this current is having the value of I minus IL. So since both the resistances are in parallel, so load voltage is same across RL, its value is VL, and also across R dash, its value is VL. So now we can write this VL is equal to I minus IL into R dash. We have considered this resistance R dash. The value of voltage across this is VL and the current flowing is I minus IL. So VL is equal to this current multiplied by resistance R dash. So what is the, from here we can derive the value of IL. So this can be written as I minus IL is equal to VL by R dash then IL can be written as I minus VL by R dash, and this again can be written as IL is equal to minus 1 by R dash into VL plus I. So again this we can compare, this is Y, this is slope M, this is X, and this is C. So now we can have a plot of characteristics of a practical current source. VL, IL. So load current plotted against the load voltage. So we can see from this equation, when we plot IL, the shape of the straight line formed will be with a negative slope minus 1 by R dash and with a positive y-intercept at I. The y-intercept is at I and with a negative slope. So again this practical current source is having the same kind of grouping characteristics as the practical voltage source. This is grouping characteristic. So this is all about the various kinds of electrical sources. We are having a classification representing the electrical sources, voltage source and the current source. Then we have discussed about the further classification of voltage sources in the form of ideal voltage source and the practical voltage source. Similarly for the current sources, the same classification, ideal as well as practical. We have also learned what circuit these sources are having and what are the output characteristics of all the four kinds of sources. So this is all about this lecture. In the next lecture we shall be starting with the Kirchhoff's voltage laws and the Kirchhoff's current law.